In this video we're going to look at how to build a simple and easy garden trellis at home for free with scrap wood and household items. This garden trellis is ideal for any climbing plant variety. Hi, I'm Rob from Sustainable Journey. All climbing plants need something to climb, otherwise if left to their own devices will create a hot mess in your garden in a short time. What I'm going to build is a simple trellis to support climbing peas I planted in a pot a couple of weeks ago, and they have started to become unruly, climbing all over each other. I've set myself the challenge of using wood offcuts and commonly used garden items every gardener should have, or some similar variation of. I have two garden stakes that are offcuts from an old deck project. They are about 18mm by 18mm by 900mm long, which is 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch by 3 feet long. Other items you can substitute to use for this project are leftover stakes you get with plants from the nursery, straight wood or bamboo. If you have a nearby source of bamboo or straight sticks, you are all set. These are an excellent gardening product to have available for any project. Worst case scenario, you can always buy a pack of similar type stakes from the nursery cheap. It's better if you have a pointy bit on the bottom of the stake. It makes pushing it into the ground easier. It's not necessary, it'll work just fine without the point if the soil isn't too hard. You just need to use more force. I also have some lengths of dowel left over from old curtains that I thought one day I could put to use. I will use these for the horizontal sections. Substitutes would again be thinner bamboo, another straight thin stick, or leftover rod or thin wood. You will need to cut these to the length of the area you want to use your trellis. In this instance, I cut these with pruning shears, the length of the rectangle pot the peas are growing in, which was about 600mm, which is 24 inches. I'm laying the stakes apart slightly smaller than the area I am putting them in. In this case, it's going into a 24-inch long pot, so I'll place them about 22 to 23 inches apart. You can make yours whatever dimensions best suit your situation, but if you have a span much over this, you'll have to consider adding an additional stake for support. You can then place the thinner horizontal sections onto the stakes in roughly the positions you want them. Remember to leave a space at the bottom of the stake where it gets pushed into the soil, plus the distance you want the horizontal section above the soil. It would be good to leave at least a foot or 300mm for this. You now want to tie off each horizontal section onto each stake where they intersect. I've found around the house many different types of ties I could use for this, and I'll show an example of how 3 will work. Some have a similar concept that you can apply to other products that you have. I've chosen to use cable ties, plant tie wire, and fishing line, but you could also use string or heavier wire just as effectively. The first, cable ties, were very easy to use. I used 2 on each section so they'd cross over each other, making a strong connection from both directions. Just loop the tie around both stake and the horizontal section, connect the tie and pull tight. This is probably the easiest option and you will only need very small ties. The second, plant tie wire. I chose this as it is something that is commonly used in a garden. I should have used one longer length, looping it around from both directions like I do with the fishing line. That way I would have only needed to tie it once, but I tied it twice and that's worked fine. It was just unnecessary. The third, fishing line, is the cheapest option. This method was a bit fiddly, but I got quite good results weaving the line in and out, securing the join from all angles. Fishing line, being clear, also looks the best. As you can see, it's quite sturdy and practical trellis. I've used this design before and it will last many years of use. You can add as many horizontal sections as you need depending on the plant you are growing and the size of the trellis. Please give us a thumbs up if you found this helpful. Subscribe and share with friends if you want to see more related content. If you haven't already seen it, check out our How to Grow videos for top tips on how to grow all types of plants in your own yard. I hope this helps.